Hey there guys, today's video is about 3 reasons why you're still overweight, so let's get into it. And number 1 is you're not motivated enough. And really, when we're talking about motivation, it's more about discipline. So in regards to motivation, nobody is motivated 24 hours a day. Motivation, it comes and it goes. It's not, you're not always going to be motivated, and sometimes it can be hard, to motivate yourself. So what's more important really is just discipline, being disciplined, following a plan, sticking to it even when you're having a bad day. Just continue with it, stick with your plan. Not to waver really on your weight loss plan, your diet, whatever. So motivation. You're just not going to be able to be motivated. We all start off and we feel great, we're super motivated, we've got a huge plan, this much we're going to lose, this much exercise we're going to do, we're just going to eat this, but it doesn't really happen that way. There'll be bad days, there'll be good days, probably a lot more bad days than you are expecting, probably take a lot longer than you're expecting, and it'll be a lot more difficult than you're expecting, especially if you're just starting out now. So just focus on being more disciplined really. Set yourself up a plan, prepare in advance, make sure you're preparing your meals, make sure you've got good options there, you're not surrounded by extra sort of temptations there, and that will help you stay focused. So that's number 1. Number 2 is a bit more of a simple one, which is you're just not counting calories correctly, or you're not at all. Now, the most important thing in regards to losing weight, getting slimmer, is of course calories in, calories out. Now, if you don't know how to count calories, it's fairly simple. These days, there's apps. MyFitnessPal, for example, is probably the best, most well-known one. Just download that, type in the food you've eaten, how many servings, and then it will just, it will show you how many calories, and you save that there. And it just counts it across, and it will tell you how many you've eaten in a day, how many in a week, things like that. You can also record your current weight each day, or each week, each month, and it will show you that progress sort of over time. So you need to be counting effectively. If you don't know, in a pound of fat is 3,500 calories. So in order to lose that, you need to be in a deficit of, you need to have burnt off 3,500 more than you need to maintain your weight. So typically people need around 2,000 to 2,500 per day to maintain their current weight. So if you want to, burn some fat off, lose some weight, you need to lower the amount of calories that you're consuming. To lose 1 pound of fat a week, you need to lower 500 calories. You need to eat 500 calories less per day. So 500 times 7 is 3,500, and that's a pound. So just make sure that your calories are on point. Try and track them exactly. It's easy to forget small things, especially when you're preparing your food. There may be things that you're not thinking about. A little bit of butter on the bread, the oil that you're cooking with, that counts, even though not all of it is obviously consumed. You should still count it and try and use less than normal. You can use those oil sprays as well. That's one way to cut down on a lot of calories from oil. Olive oil as well. People put olive oil on top of the pizza, pasta and things. That contains a huge amount of calories. You're looking around 150 per spoon, and it's very easy to put a couple of spoons on there. That's about 20% or more of your daily calories there. So be careful with that, and just look into it. Check your foods on the packaging, look on the back, start to learn roughly what is in certain foods. That way, when you go to visit someone and they prepare your food, you'll be able to roughly guess how many calories are in that specific food. Now, it doesn't need to be exact, but there's going to be times where you're just not going to be able to know the exact amount. So it's good to learn what's in different foods. Some foods will surprise you as well. foods that don't look like they've got a lot of calories, but they do, and it's often foods you think maybe, you know, healthier foods. For example, coconut, for example. A few chunks of coconut is very calorie packed. Obviously it's got a huge amount of fat, but obviously it's good fat, but the calories still count, and unfortunately, you know, even if you're eating purely healthy food, vegetables and fruits and things, if the calories are too much, you'll still gain weight. And you know, the same works in reverse. If you're eating junk food and you don't get up to your daily calories, then you can lose weight. You know, there's a guy that, a professor I believe at university or something, and he you know, did sort of a study basically where he lost weight eating just Twinkies, I believe. Or so, you know, it's perfectly possible to lose weight just eating junk food, or even on a bad diet. It's not a good idea. Just because you'll be hungry, you won't be able to eat the same volume of food. Normally these unhealthy junk foods and things, they're very calorie dense, so a small amount has a lot of calories, and that means that you won't feel full, you'll feel hungry even though you've eaten a lot. Compare that to something like, for example, lettuce, broccoli, that kind of thing. You know, try and eat 500 calories of it. You know, just weigh it out, work out how, you know, it's probably like, I don't know, 5 full, you know, broccoli, or you know, a few kilos of lettuce. You know, it's just such a huge volume of food. That's the benefits of eating healthier. You know, obviously you can still eat a small amount of unhealthy foods and things, but when you are eating, you know, healthier foods in general, they're lower calorie and they're higher volume, higher fibre, so they help you to feel full, and just better for your health in general. So number 3, last point here, is a bad choice of diets and plans and things. So what I'm talking about here is following a plan which is unsustainable, something you can't do long term, it's difficult to follow, something you're not going to do for the rest of your life. When you are changing, it needs to be something that is long term. If you do, so for example, keto is very popular. Keto is basically a diet which is a decent amount of protein, I believe, very high fat and very low carb. Now the problem with this is practically all meals, if you go to restaurants and things, everywhere, everything has carbs. You know, if you go to a family meal, a family, you know, a special occasion, whatever, there'll be carbs. And unless you're going to separate the carbs off of everything, which is what some people do, you know, you can do that. It's probably not a good idea, and I never recommend, you know, completely sort of basically removing an entire food group. Carbs have their use. While they do, they are very, you know, energy dense, calorie dense. They do have their uses. It's very good. For example, if you do follow intermittent fasting, which I suggest you do, then having your carbs later on in the evening, that can help with certain hormones and things which make it easier to sleep. So that's probably the best time to have your carbs. Eating late doesn't affect, you know, losing weight. It doesn't matter what time you eat. It's the same, it's calories in, calories out. So they're the 3 points, guys. Thanks for watching. Give the video a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.